where the different peoples of the earth came from. Read 8, Genesis chapter 11, 1 through 9, then chapter 10, 1 through 32, and back to chapter 11, verses 10 through 32. Read the passages in this order. The first explains how that as one people they were disobeying God's command to fill the earth. He scattered them by confusing their languages. Then all of chapter 10 explains how that as these same people spoke different languages, but within their own particular bloodlines, they became separate and distinct people groups. This is the only explanation for the origin of the nations and the different languages to come down to us from out of antiquity. All modern efforts are attempts at trying to explain the ethnicities by means of a long atheistic evolution of races apart from the Word of God. They got it wrong. Acts 17:26 is as good an explanation as there is. It says we're all descended from Adam through Noah. The second passage to read then delineates all of the very many first people groups, each having their own language or dialect that formed around their respective bloodline. The sons of Japheth moved north and west from modern-day Iraq in the Middle East. And since my line descends from Scotland, England, and Ireland, I am likely of this line. This would mean that I can now know the first 11 generations of my descendants, from Adam through Noah and his son Japheth. Now, 1025 says it was in the time of Peleg that the earth was divided, probably along these very linguistic lines that came out of Babylon. Then the third passage, chapter 11, verses 10 through 32, traces the next 10 generations from Noah and the ark through Shem down to our next Bible hero, Abraham. But what helps us from this passage is that we learn how many years after the flood and their coming off of the ark that Peleg lived, and puts this dividing up of the peoples right about 110 years after the flood, and maybe about 2425 BC or so. With all the math trying to determine how many years have passed already from Genesis 1:1 to this end of the origins or creation time period, we have about 2,100 years. We are about to enter the second of the 12 time periods. This will be the patriarchal time period of the lives of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his 12 sons. It's what the book is all about.